No way. No, please, no. No. No, please, no. For so many reasons, please, no. I assume you looked at the title before you clicked this video. Hillary Clinton is telling friends she hasn't shut the door on 2020. No. No. Every time I bring this up and I talk about, dear God, please no Hillary Clinton, all of the Republicans and conservatives I know start laughing, saying, please God, yes, Hillary Clinton. And that's one of the reasons I find this so damn funny. Because there was a poll I covered a while, a couple weeks ago from USA Today that showed Democrats polled told Hillary Clinton, like, overwhelmingly don't run, do not do it. And they, for the most part, want someone not even listed, but Joe Biden was number one. And to me, Joe Biden, I'm like, Bernie might run, and I got that story pulled up too. But in this poll, please, Democrats, they're all saying to Hillary Clinton, please don't run. You shouldn't do this. And then the comment section of my video is inundated with people saying, please God, yes, please Hillary again, because Hillary is an awful candidate and she can't win. I think Kamala Harris has a good chance, but people are likening her to Hillary Clinton. So, but is this possible? I just can't believe it. I really can't believe she would try again. I will also point out, do not underestimate her the same way that, you know, they underestimated Trump. She could win. It's true. I just think she won't. And I'll tell you this, I wouldn't vote for her. I would vote for Bernie, but that's a complicated issue. We'll talk about that. Failed 2016 Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton is reportedly telling close advisors and friends that she hasn't fully shut the door on a 2020 presidential campaign run. CNN reports that Clinton isn't ready to give up her Oval Office dreams. My God. Clinton is telling people that she's not closing the doors to the idea of running in 2020. CNN reporter Jeff Zeleny told the network Sunday morning on Inside Politics, I'm told by 3 people that as recently as this week, she was telling people that, look, given all the news from the indictments, particularly the Roger Stone indictment, she talked to several people saying, look, I'm not closing the door to this. Although Zeleny added, he does not believe that there's a campaign in waiting or a plan in the works, or that Clinton is likely to throw her hat into the ring for 2020 unless there's truly a dearth of qualified Democratic candidates. That said, according to Zeleny, the rumor is a strong one. Oh God, no. I think we have to at least leave our mind open to the possibility that she is still talking about it. She wants to take on Trump. Could she win a Democratic primary to do it? I don't know the answer to that. Well, I mean, they can cheat again. You know, she can win the primary by cheating. And isn't that a really funny, like, look, if you have to cheat to win the primary, and we know they did, you're probably not going to win in the general because people don't like you. I would recommend against running again. So they say the answer to that is likely no. Unlike in the 2 previous contests Clinton entered, she would be competing against a strong field of Democratic contenders in 2020. Yeah, but name one that's got any charisma. She would be each hell-bent on being the Democratic choice to dethrone President Donald Trump. And while the party may still be finding its footing, deciding where on the spectrum from progressive to moderate it wants to be while up against the Republican populist president, one thing is for certain. They're looking for fresh blood. Overwhelmingly, that poll from USA Today said Democrats want someone new. I am one of them. I am one of them. I would love, personally, I would love a center-left Democrat type who, social liberal policies, opposes overt identitarianism. I just don't think they exist. I do like the idea of Tulsi Gabbard, but we'll see. And that's more from, you know, I often talk about one of the main reasons one of my main concerns, for the most part, is anti-interventionist. I don't like war. I don't think we should be going and bombing these other countries. I think a huge priority for us, okay, I'll put it this way. I feel like the U.S. policy for growth has been screw with foreign countries and hold down our competition instead of being competitive. And I think it's an overwhelmingly like globalist perspective that we can push down other countries and stop them from growing, and at the same time, it allows a faster, like, one world government forming. Like, I don't mean it in the way that just like Alex Jones said. I don't think it's going to be like an unelected council taking over and, you know, doing the Dr. Evil thing. I think the goal was creating these massive trade lines to create global community and policy, and that's why they do it. When my opinion is, look, man, Cold War was bad. I get it. World War was bad. But we should focus all that money we spend in the Middle East and these foreign countries, let's, you know, spend it on healthcare and school and things like this. And I'll also point out, I've never been a big fan of any institutionalized schooling, like even high school. But when it comes to the idea of college for all, maybe we're looking at it the wrong way. And maybe what we should be saying is we should do something about our high school education system, which is awful. We could probably reform our public school systems into something that incorporates what we would consider to be a college level type. Like, I guess reform is one of my big points. And as a social liberal, I do see problems with expanding all of these healthcare programs because all we're doing is putting Band-Aids on top of Band-Aids, right? But let's talk about Clinton. I don't want to go on a tangent. Let's see. Several Democratic contenders, including Clinton's heir apparent, Kirsten Gillibrand, have approached the 2016 presidential candidate looking for help, advice, and access to the Clintons' massive fundraising network. A group of such high-level donors, anyone with the Clinton blessing is likely to become the de facto frontrunner. But Clinton has kept surprisingly quiet on which candidate she prefers to do the job she failed to do, unseat Donald Trump. And she did give an interview where she ragged on Bernie Sanders, saying he wouldn't support her and it cost her the election, effectively. And that's hilarious, because Bernie did endorse her, eventually. But they really don't want Bernie to run. They don't want him to win, either. Now they're actually saying there's a conspiracy theory from these people that Bernie Sanders is a Russian psyop. I kid you not. Clinton has regularly hinted at a third run for the nation's highest office, though her top advisors have told conflicting stories to the media. Early on, former Clinton staffer completely ruled out any possibility that Hillary would make another run in 2020, but of late, both Clinton and her close friends have been dropping hints to reporters that the door truly is not closed. Oof. God, it's a hard cringe. Please, please. Like, I'm not a huge Kamala Harris fan. I would consider voting for her. I would never vote for Hillary Clinton. And I think the main reason is her history is just too sordid, you know? I'm not a big fan of Kamala Harris either, and so I don't know if I would vote for her. I like Tulsi better, so maybe she'd get my vote, but it really just depends on what happens in the primary. A lot of people like to criticize me for still, like, entertaining the thought of voting Democrat, but I'll tell you, I would probably never vote for a conservative or a Republican, and I've only somewhat like, it's only a smidgen that gets me to actually want to consider voting for these people, and I would probably end up not voting, and I might just write Bernie in. Ultimately, when it comes to Bernie, it's really just about trust in somebody who I feel has integrity. And although Bernie is far from perfect, I give him like a 55% out of 100, which means like anything less than 50 and I wouldn't vote for you, and anything above 50 and I would consider it, and that's why I used to be much more for Bernie, but he's done some things in the past that just make me... Like, when he said that thing about white people not knowing what it's like to be poor, I'm like, dude, first of all, I really don't believe him when he says that. I think he was told to say that, and it looked like he was struggling to say it. But I trust Bernie knows that's not true. However, I'm not a big fan of people who are willing to play that game. But maybe if he thought it was the only way he was going to win, I'm still not a fan of that. And when he got pushed off the stage, I'll tell you, he's the only person I'd ever come close to voting, like to actually voting in a presidential election, but we'll see what happens. According to Zeleny, Clinton believes that although she lost quite spectacularly to Trump and has yet to fully embrace the reasons for her failure, preferring instead to blame the country's supposed sexism and racism for her difficulties, there's still an argument to be made that she's the strongest candidate in the field, particularly given that she won the national popular vote in her last contest, even if she lost the Electoral College. Yes, because she won California and because people didn't like Trump, plain and simple. No, people were... There's a really funny joke. It said, it was a car, and it was a bumper sticker. It was a bunch of bumper stickers. The first one said, Bernie 2020, or Bernie 2016. And then the next one said, okay, Hillary, fine, I guess. And then the next one was, okay, giant meteor. Like, basically the point was, nobody wanted Clinton. They begrudgingly voted for her. Get somebody better, please. You know, they're not doing... I'll say this. I'm probably one of the hardest people to win over for the Democrats, so they're probably not going to care about me. They're not going to bend over backwards to try and figure out how to get me to vote Democrat, plain and simple. So they're going to go for low-hanging fruit, identitarians and things like that. She may not be wrong. Gillibrand and Elizabeth Warren are Clinton clones. Ugh. Couching moderate ideology in progressive rhetoric, other than former Vice President Joe Biden, no male is polling close to the top, and Senator Bernie Sanders is already causing controversy with his threatened 2020 campaign. So much so, the Democratic National Committee may not tolerate a second run from the Vermont Progressive. Although the field is vast, no single candidate is strong, and Clinton must know that. But how ready is anyone for a third campaign? A recent poll has her being soundly beaten by both Biden and Sanders. I wouldn't vote for Biden. I would consider voting for Sanders, and that's probably it. End of story. But I'll tell you what, I would be willing to bet if Hillary Clinton runs, my God, I can't believe we're having this conversation again, she will lose, plain and simple. And for the most part, I don't see any of these people beating Trump. As much as the media wants to bash you over the head claiming that everyone's mad at Trump and his approval ratings are low, sure, that may be the case to a certain sect of this country. But people are going to look at the economy. They're going to say the economy is better than ever. My friends who have retirement accounts, you know, they're talking to me about how much they're up this year and things like that. And it's been a roller coaster for sure. But for the most part, with unemployment down, things seem better than ever. Why would people want to break from that? I don't know. It's going to come down to culture. It really is. So we'll see what happens. But I'll end by saying one more time, please, God, not Hillary. Please. Please, Democrats, get somebody else. I want to vote for you, right? I don't want to vote for Republicans. I don't agree with most of the Republican platform. There's just a simple, like, I don't like the authoritarian regressive left, and so I think we can agree on that, but I'm not a fan of the policy on that side. But I can't see anybody on the Democrat side either, but I would consider it. I would. Please, get someone who it's never going to happen. I'm due. You know what? Whatever. More videos coming up in a few minutes. I'll see you in a minute.